my good friends, and welcome to the CubeKrowd server. This is AgroGaming, and I just wanted to say hello, do a little bit of an introduction, and give some explain what my plans are for this little channel, this little series, if you could call it that. Let's go ahead and get out of F5 here. So I've been wanting to sort of document the things that I do and the things that other people do on this server for quite some time. I've been playing on it for probably 7 or 8 years now. It is a completely vanilla, besides a couple quality of life server-side plugins. But is a completely vanilla survival world, and then there are creative servers, there are skyblock servers, things like that. But this will be focused primarily on the survival side of things. And I've been wanting something that I can sort of just go back and look, and in a couple years, I or anybody that I play with can go back and look, go back and see some of the things that were on old survival worlds, as we do have seasons to this, and just sort of reminisce. We'll see where it goes. It may go further than that, it may not. And then the format of the whole thing. I wanted to go with something sort of in between a Let's Play and a World Tour. Occasionally, I might do a small video doing some building on camera. Other times it might be a time-lapse. And then other times it might just be little update videos, going along, showing more things that have been built on the server, expansions, possibly community events and projects. But overall, we're going to start this little tour of the server and sort of introduce everybody who might not have seen it before, / document what's currently here. And I'm recording this on actually the 4th of June of 2020, so I might put a little timestamp in occasionally on some of these videos as to when they were recorded, since I do record, I do plan on recording multiple videos in one day sometimes. And that'll give you a general sense of time, since the whole main goal is to document the server. So we're starting this off at my base. This is the city of Parody, which is roughly based on a world that I have designed for D&D, and it is a regular, it's starting off as a fairly regular fantasy style city. It's going to be quite large. I have a lot of big plans for the areas around it, for the city itself. However, as of now, it's sort of just a standard fantasy city. I have my cathedral that I've been working on, which is going to be a very long-term project, because it is kind of a pain in the butt to build on a diagonal. I have a couple little houses. I have another portal. We have my my apothecary, and so the way that I plan on setting up this base is each building will have a different function to the city. This is the apothecary. This is where I'm going to have all my brewing stuff. Down below, I do plan on making some redstone projects, or working them into the build to have things automated, to have automated farms for things that we don't have on the server already. And we are sort of going to have a different location, have a different spot for each resource that I gather, rather than a centralized storage unit, even though I am using that now. A lot of the builds like this are temporary or very subject to change, since I am sort of learning as I go. This is my central storage unit, but we'll give you a quick overview of the area. So that's the cathedral, and it is called the Cathedral of the 13, for the 13 gods in this D&D world, in this fantasy world, that are worshipped here. we have the apothecary and the garden. We have the beginning of the city walls, the inn, the smithy, and then I think that is going to be either a tavern or possibly some sort of bakery. We have a greenhouse. We are working on the brewing company. Down here I have one of my witch farms. Up in these mountains I have some big plans for some sort of a keep or academic slash fantasy magical college. Over here you can actually see quite a large perimeter quarry type of thing. That's actually a end portal, a stronghold that I plan on a large build with, and some of these I might individually go over in the future. However, this is, like I said, just a little bit of a rundown. So we're actually going to really quick take a trip to the spawn area, show some of the primary where I visit the most on the server. We'll go ahead and I'm still working on my nether tunnel because it took me quite some time to work out, plus some of the resources are sort of expensive. Since I am using beacons for lighting, mushroom stems, things like that, collecting flowers. But so there are typically, I would say, about 100 active members for the survival world at any given time who do anything from build their own base to contribute to redstone projects, public farms, public projects, whatever it may be. So this is our spawn area. This is our nether hub area. And we have a north-south direction for the primary tunnels, and then east to west for our actual personal tunnels. And many of them are shared, but I'm lucky enough where I sort of have it just me and a couple of my friends. Our spawn area. So this is not a traditional 0-0 spawn. We have it set up where it suited what we were going for the beginning of the server. And this is a custom villager. This is one of the 2 non-vanilla features in the survival world here. And it's sort of just for quality of life things that would be very difficult to obtain on a server of this size that is a public server overall. Elytras and sponges, sand, things like that. And then we have from our our end farm, we have public collection, we have some little public farms and stuff. And overall, we have like fortune picks and things that people can use when they first start. We have skelly farms, spider farms, all of the basics. We do have a wonderful kick-ass iron farm here that was built and designed by Blocky M, another member who's more of a technical builder on the server. And I mean, just as much stuff as we could ever need when it comes to iron. We have just a little simple, just chop your own trees down. We have our passive mushroom farm down here with some very cool pixel art on the walls. Looks like I'm about to run out of rockets. And overall, our spawn area is fairly well developed, but overall obviously significantly more with public builds and things that benefit the server as a whole. I don't think that anybody actually is allowed to have a base on the spawn island. And it is all Mushroom Island that has been converted by hand. So another thing is our shopping district. That is where I spend... Ooh, this is new. That looks fancy. Things are always changing on here. But we have our shopping district, and it is a pretty large one overall. You can buy, I would debatably say, 75 to 80% of every item in Minecraft. at this shopping district somewhere. We have apartment buildings that people rent out. We have all sorts of shops. And naturally, I have my shop, and I'm actually in a group of friends and the people that I like hanging out with on here, the Masons. Most of these buildings, sort of the creator of the Masons is one of our build team members, Taco Squad, and he's helped or designed all of these himself, or aided in the design of them. And they all obviously are different people, like selling different things, services, and yada yada, but really sort of pimping out the East Side shopping district and really having a cohesive theme. And it's pretty cool. Like, we have the banks, we have the industrial builds, we have the park areas. I mean, it's all very, very, very cool. We actually have a Space Needle that's about to be built there. Some very cool stuff. And then, so one of the more recently completed projects, which I'll actually post the reveal video that I actually edited and filmed myself on, I'll post a link to that in the description. But we have our End Island, and this is definitely one of the bigger public features, and this server has been going on since, or this survival world has been going on since January, so at this point only 6 months or so, not even 6 full months I don't think. And it is definitely a very large-scale project. I am going to turn off my shaders for this because the end is sort of wonky with shaders. But yeah, we have our entire end mapped, thanks to one of our members, one of our trusted members and end managers, named Tool. Yeah, he flew around and mapped the entire end up to the world border himself. We have a small map of our end island, but you're about to see that that is a very, very small scale for what is actually here. Oh, looks like my cat is still here. I mean, it is absolutely insane. Everything here, like I said, done completely in survival. Everything placed by hand. Designed in creative first, but copied over completely by hand. No Lightmatica, no Schematica. Those things aren't even allowed on the server. I mean, it is absolutely crazy. And then naturally we have to have, for any large end project, we have to have an ender. Here's a better picture of the end island and end arena. But yeah, so I've been playing on this server for about 8 years, and every survival world has always impressed me. The community on this server is really strong. Obviously, people come and go, but overall, it's extremely impressive how long many of the people have stayed around and how dedicated a lot of people are. And the staff runs it extremely well. For being a public server, it doesn't feel like a public server, and we really don't have much of an issue with griefing. We really don't have much of an issue with stealing or theft. However, the second non-vanilla feature is a plugin for Core Protect, which is a anti-griefing program where occasionally some staff or a respected like myself may need to intervene, and staff can roll things back if things are griefed beyond repair. But besides that, the server is completely vanilla, and we have our ender, which is absolutely crazy. Let me really quick turn those guys down because they're about to be loud, I'm positive. Yeah, they're seems like rates are sort of slow, so I assume somebody is in the end right now. But it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's insanely quick. I mean, naturally, as to be expected when you have nowhere for them to spawn anywhere. we'll go ahead and take a trip back to my base, and I'll sort of wrap up because I've been rambling on for a couple minutes now. And another thing is, I would like to try and keep this channel fairly PG. This series fairly PG. However, it is not a 100% done deal with that. I would like to document some things on the server and some things that happen in Discord with other members, and some of that is out of my control, and I will do my best to censor it. However, overall, it's just more of just going to be us doing our normal thing. And just sort of going through the daily routine and what it's like to actually play on this server with everybody. And yeah, I mean, I don't really feel like there's much more to say. I am going to continue uploading videos, I think, and if people like them, then I'll upload them more frequently. If people want to see certain builds featured, I definitely want to do tours of other people's bases, and like I said, I'm still sort of new to this. I'm still trying to figure everything out, so feel free to leave a comment, leave a like, let me know what you think, what can be improved, and I will most definitely take those into consideration. And I really appreciate you joining me today, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye.